What's up everybody, Shamok here, and today we are doing a big video, alright? Today we're taking a look at every single Death Grip song, and I think I got all of them here in this tier list, and we're going to rate them by God tier, great, good, meh, or skippable. So basically how we're going to rate these, God tier is just like, anytime, anywhere, I'll listen to this song, love it, and then when the next song comes around, I'm wishing I was just back there with the current God tier song, you know? Then great is just like a really good Death Grip song, just a little behind the God tier songs. You know, they're like right behind it, and you know, sometimes when you're listening to a great song, it ends, it goes on to the next one. You're just like, I wish I was listening to that song again. And then good is similar. You know, it's like it's a good Death Grip song. This is good, you know. But when it ends, you're just like, all right, on to the next. That's all good. And then meh songs are just, it's like they're skippable on a bad day, and on a good day they're good. So they're sort of in the middle. And then skippable is just like every time I see it, I'm just like, nah, alright, we're going to move on to the next song, alright? We don't need to listen to this one. So, without further ado, I think we're going to get right into it here. Been a Death Grips fan for almost 6 years now. Absolutely love them. Listen to all these songs, well, all of them probably about 20 times each, at least. And then there's ones like, like Why a Bitch Gotta Lie, On GP, Get Got, I've listened to thousands of times. Mathematically speaking, thousands of times. So let's get going here with Death Grips, Next Grips. I feel terrible doing this song. It's a classic, but I'm gonna have to put it in meh. It's just it's a little too loud, and the lyrics are just okay. And then you know yeah, it's Death Grips. That's a little cringy, you know. And then Face Melter we can put in good. Face Melter is a lot of fun. And it just kind of goes on though without much change is the issue I have with Face Melter. It's just it kind of goes on a little too long. A lot of fun though, really fun song. And Full Moon, so yeah, we're ascending every single song of the of the album. Full Moon's great. Like, it's such a powerful song. It's just it's when MC Ride it really sounds like he's towards his angriest, that's a word, right? Towards his angriest, and it's just a barrage of great lyrics, great refrains, great beat switch ups, and it's Death Grip's minimalism almost at its best, almost. And it's crazy that this, I think this was their first song they ever made, and that's just awesome that it turned out that good. And then Beware, we're gonna put in great. Unfortunately, not a God tier song for me. Beware just has the greatest hook in the world. Honestly, it's just so powerful, and the way the sample works in the background is just, it works just wonders in that song with that vocal performance and with those lyrics. It just really comes together really well. I do have to say it goes on a little bit too long though, and I think the outro kind of hurts it every time. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, okay, gotta skip now. I think it's a fun little outro to go into the next song here, Guillotine. Guillotine, whatever. Yeah, I'll put Guillotine good. Very, like, you gotta know, I feel like this is one of the ones where you have to know the lyrics or else you're really gonna be bored by it. But once you know the lyrics and you're screaming along to them, you get it, right? You're feeling it. It feels, like, dirty and raw, and it's awesome. But then when you don't know the lyrics, it feels so boring because there's not a whole lot going on. And the outro takes a little bit too long, even if the beat switch up for the outro is really cool. Spread Eagle Across the Block. I'll put Spread Eagle in great. I think Spread Eagle is a lot of fun. I don't know why I put it there. Can I? Oh, okay. I think Spread Eagle is a lot of fun. It just is another issue with it. Just the biggest issue with Exmiltary. The songs go on maybe 30 seconds, sometimes a full minute too long, unfortunately. But it's just a total blast to listen to. And when you're just when it's summertime, man, you got the summer's down, the windows down. It's just Spread Eagle Across the Block. Like, it's so great. It's so much fun to listen to. Just it goes on a little bit too long without any major switch ups. Lord of the Game, guys. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of fans of this song. It is a very solid song. I'm gonna put in good though. I really like the lyrics in this one. I think the beat during the verses is awesome. I love the horn in the background occasionally when it really wants to emphasize the end of a verse or end of a line. But I really don't like the cut up vocal samples from Mexican Girl, who I'm not sure we know who it is exactly yet, right? I think it's still kind of up in the air who it is. Um, I don't want I don't want to do my Mexican Girl impression to show you guys what I'm on about, but really wasn't a fan of the chopped up and then repitched Mexican Girl samples, like in the intro. But we're gonna move on to Tachyon here, which I think is great, easy great. It's just it's got great mix of some of the minimalism with just like the bass background, the dome, 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 dome. It's just a lot of fun, and the lyrics are just fantastic as well. I'm just debating: is it a god tier? I think there's no proper negative to put on it, right? But I just don't think it ascends quite enough to god tier, just yet. Then Cutthroat, I think is good. I don't know why people put 5D above it. I really don't know. I think 5D is really boring in comparison. I think Cutthroat, especially with the It's Death sample, just sounds fantastic in this song. It's just a great little bass line, good in between, I think. At least in my view. And then Clink. Clink's a tough one. Because at its best, Clink is a great, easily. But I think I'm just going to put it in good because I think the outro was a little too long, and it just had a absolutely manic and super loud vibe you're getting from it. It's just like, holy shit, dude, I'm getting so pumped, oh, fuck the police, and then it kind of ends. It was just kind of sad. And then that, of course, the outro leads into Culture Shock, which I think is a pretty boring song. But it has tons of great memorable lines. I think that's what keeps it in good, at least, not meh for me. It was just a little boring. I didn't think it needed to be as long as it was. Maybe like I don't vibe that much with like with just how the whole vibe is. All right, sorry, I said vibe way too many times. But okay, moving on to 5D. Skip. Sorry, I know people really like 5D. I don't know why though. I think it was like. Whereas Cutthroat is like a nice little in between. 5D, I felt didn't need to be there. I know it is very long. Very long. Not very long. It is very short. So like putting a skippable just seems mean spirited. But at the same time, it is so short and there's so little going on in that little instrumental that you may as well just skip it. Through the Walls, I think is great. Just super fun and bombastic, and this is one of those ones where I believe the song is just under or just over 4 minutes, but I don't feel bored at all by it, like in some other Exmiltary songs, like the one we're about to get to. But still on about Through the Walls, I think I described it a little while back. It just feels like a tribal chant about just like getting fucked up on drugs and shit. It's a lot of fun. I love that song. And fun fact, that was the first one. I don't know if you guys will be able to find it, but it was when I was really starting to get into Death Grips. This is Through the Walls was the song that got me into it. I tweeted I tweeted at Anthony Fantano. I was just like, now I get it. Okay. If you guys, it wasn't exactly what it was, but if you guys can find it, that'd be great. But because that was when I was like, Death Grips is it. I'm into this. And then Known For, I think is good. Some boring parts, some fun parts. It's like Tachyon, but like a tier, literally a tier lower, where there's nothing too bad about it. It's just doesn't quite transcend it for me. I'll definitely, of course, I'll listen to the whole thing every time, and then I Want It, I Need It is good just for those hilarious, over the top. If you're not into it, disgusting lyrics. It's just a crazy, fun little song. But that's the problem. It's not a little song. It's over 6 minutes long, and that's what just makes it good. It would be great if it was like 3 or 4 minutes, which I think it was on the original Death Grips tape. So we're going to peep Blood Creepin' now, which I think is just good, and it's only good for similar reasons. The lyrics are really dark and just gritty and disturbing. But I really love the whoa, whoa, whoa. I really love that. I don't know why I like it so much, but I can really vibe with that. And then the outro just goes on for, I think it's over a minute, and that just ruins the song for me. I know you can just like cut it as the it's for a minute it does that, and it's kind of ruins, it hurts the song's overall feel, I think. Get Got is our first God tier. Fantastic song. My favorite song of all time. Easily, I think just the way the vocals and the instrumental work together is uncanny. It's absolutely out of this world fantastic. And then I think the lyrics themselves are the best I've ever heard. I really like the symbolism here. Won't get too personal, but let's just say I vibe with the lyrics. Okay. And then The Fever, another God tier. Again, the lyrics absolutely just descriptive as all hell, just fantastic. Favorite like from The Fever is like By Any Means Necessary, rated blanket, my super graded. It's just like awesome. I didn't even pronounce it right. That's how hype I am about that song. And then just this is one thing that Death Grips sometimes I've noticed as I've started to be a little more critical of them as I've gotten out of the Death Grips hype a little bit. I can see more of their downsides is trying to balance a super aggressive and like difficult to get into section of the song, like the verses of The Fever, versus the hook, which is just the best hook I've ever heard in my life. And I think Death Grip sometimes fails at getting a good balance of like having a super abrasive and aggressive sound mixed with a very sort of accessible and very pleasing sound on a part of the same song, and I think The Fever balances that perfectly. Then Lost Boys is great. Really enjoy Lost Boys. I really like the lyrics on this one as well. It's just a whole lot of fun, really, with this song. And it's just one you just bob your head to as your speakers shake themselves to death. It's a very depressing song, in all honesty, but it is one that you can just sort of like make a serious face and just bob your head along to. It's one of those. I really like that song. Blackjack. Blackjack is good. It is a very unintrusive duration, which is nice of it, and I think it has some really solid lyrics on there, really descriptive and solid lyrics. I love the synonyms to playing blackjack. Goddamn, playing blackjack to basically being like a drug kingpin. I really like those metaphors, synonyms, and so on. With that, it is really enjoyable. It's just especially when you're following Get Got, The Fever, Lost Boys. When you're following those, one where it's just decent lyrics, really interesting, but overall just decent beat, it just doesn't really compare. Hustle Bones, though, brings it up to 11. I think Hustle Bones is great, and it's just, you all know, you know Hustle Bones, guys. Super catchy hook, awesome lyrics in the verses, really, really dark and disturbing lyrics in the verses in particular, but it's just a complete and utter blast. Like the Spread Eagle and Hustle Bones are just on repeat in the summertime, and a few others when we get to them. Well, I will point those out. It's just a blast, but there's just no specific lyrics, no specific section of the song that just catapults it up to God tier for me. It's just lacking that. It's like Tachyon, where it just lacks that thing that just pushes it. Then I've Seen Footage, I'd say is good. I've Seen Footage is can I move that down? Yeah. I've Seen Footage is a lot of fun. I really like the main riff from the guitar is decent too. And the lyrics are a lot of fun, but it just doesn't have that pop that the other Money Store songs have. That thing, that sound, that's just really interesting. A lot of these Death Grip songs here, even Blackjack, just have a sound or two, a sample, or what have you, whatever they created to make the album sound like it does. It just doesn't have that specific sound or specific vibe to it that some of the other Money Store songs have to just put it up in great. Double Helix, I think, is another good one. Super head bobby with this one, and the lyrics just coming at you like supersonic speed, like Eminem. And the lyrics themselves are okay. This one gets a little, well, obviously the lyrics of all the Money Store songs are all very muddied behind the beats, but I think the lyrics here just get a little lost for me, like the actual words themselves in the lyrics. just get a little lost in the lyrics. I'm kind of like, huh? Did you just say that because it rhymed and it sounded cool in the rhyme scheme, or what? But okay, System Blower, I'd say is great. It's just another thumper, dude. It's just like, oh, like how I'm coming, where I'm singing, where I'm from, and what I'm bringing. Like I can't think of the instrumental and not just start screaming the lyrics. It's just one of those songs that's just like, yes, and it would be God tier, but god damn it, why does the outro last so long? It's like Blood Creeping, where it's like a minute of just system blow blow bum, 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 for like a minute, and it's just come on, man, like. All right, let's get on to the cage. Let's get on to the cage, which I'd say is it's teetering on great, dude, but I'll just put it in good. The Cage has been one of my least favorite Money Store songs, which isn't saying much. Like, I absolutely love that album. But it's just because it starts so slow is the issue I have with it. Once you start getting to the second half of the song, God tier. Amazing. But the first half is just a little too slow for me when it's first getting started. But very fun song, like the lyrics. Just, yeah, that first half kind of slowed the whole album down, too, if I'm honest. And then Punk Weight, I think, is great. I don't know what it is that makes this song be sort of forgotten by the Death Grips community, but it's just, it is, you know Punk Weight. It's the speaker shaker. It's the one they can't play at live concerts because they're afraid they'll shake the whole place down. It's awesome, and I love the extremely dark and disturbing lyrics. You know, how to rest your head in roach infested basement to smoke Punk Weight for breakfast. Like, it's just awesome, and I think it's just, it mixes being super fun with having a super interesting sample. But the intro is interesting. They never harbor back to the funny sounding intro. Like, it doesn't play a role in the song whatsoever. So it kind of just felt like padding the intro. That everyone thinks is Japanese, but it's Arabic, I believe. But because it's from the Arabic. So, I'm not gonna try and pronounce that. Okay. So fuck that. Nah, I'll put it in good. Fuck that has the weirdest. I think everyone can agree it's the weirdest sounding Money Store song. For me, the lyrics just save it. I think it's oh man, what's that one? Sick as fuck contagion, waging war with all you knew. It's just awesome. Like, there's so many memorable lyrics from that song. Just the vibe of it seems a little off, if I'm honest. Doesn't really fit too well with the other Money Store songs, but again, the lyrics next level. Great stuff. Bitch Please, great song. I forget who put Bitch Please in, like, skippable or meh. I think it was Jazz on our Discord server. Fuck you, Jazz. Bitch Please is amazing. It's just a sea of fun and interesting lyrics mixed with just the amazing hook on the beat is just so much fun. It's just a great package overall for this song. And then Hacker, I think is great. You know, people put it above the boys, the Fever and Get Got, which is a lot of people's favorites from that album. I think Hacker is Hacker. It's a great song. Everyone likes it. I mean, Death Grips fans, non-Death Grips fans, unless you hate Death Grips, chances are you'll like Hacker. You know, it's just a very fun and interesting song. It just, with how clear and concise the Money Store is, I think it is a little too long. But again, just super funny and fun lyrics. I love that about Death Grips. They're they put on such a serious front, but they are clearly having fun when they're making their music. And I just realized Artificial Death and Bass Rattle are in the wrong places, and I'm gonna fucking have a fit. It took me like 2 hours to get the shit in order, and then TierMaker.com didn't put it in the order. Whatever. All right. So yeah, I think Hacker is just maybe like a verse too long, or a hook in particular. I think they do the hook a little bit too many times. It might be just like a hook too long, even though the hook is fantastic. Everyone knows verse numbers. I'm in your area. Everyone loves that, but I think it goes a little too long. Maybe just like one more repeat of the hook could have been removed and just concise it up just a little bit. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say that, but fuck it, come up and get me. Got here easily. the song that makes me want to scream the lyrics at the top of my lungs the most is "Come Up and Get Me." It's just, oh, can't tell her hell or my head turn to the bell on my dead. On a silent pill force fed, lined myself all by myself. It's so good, dude. Like the mix of the lyrics, the fucking beat just doesn't stop pounding. It's so good, and it works so well with how crazy MC Red goes on this song. Like I think it's the final hook when he's after, I think it's after the second verse where he's just screaming and his voice is just cracking. And they recorded this in a hotel, right? Why didn't they get kicked out recording that song? It's awesome. It just worked so magically. I think I'm getting giddy, dude. Like I love that song. All right, Little Boy. I'll put Little Boy in good. It is a fun song. I like Little Boy. Okay, well, it's not fun because it's extremely dark. But it's a very interesting song. The way it just portrays basically being controlled by whatever drug you are abusing at that particular time is just very dark, gritty, interesting. And actually, I'll do the special thing for you guys here. I made a video for Little Boy. I've told no one about this. I think very few people know that it exists. I just because there's one particular scene there I really don't want my don't want my real life people in my real life to see, basically. But it will be in the description of this video. It's unlisted right now. I'll put a link to it in the description. Let me know what you guys think about that particular music video. I made it when I was 16 or 17, so it's really not very good. It's just you know, I think I was going for capturing the feeling of being trapped by a drug, essentially, like what I feel Little Boy is about. And so now we're going to move on to No Love, which I think is great. Easy great for me. Not quite God tier, I'll get to that in a sec, but No Love is just that song, you know, that just gets you angry. And it's just the, you all know the hook, right? You know, fit to learn the proper meaning of a beatdown. Is that what it is? And it's just this very, very loud instrumentation, and it just works extremely well with the anger and frustration you get from the song in the lyrics and just through the vocal performance as well. Just the MC Ride almost sounds slimy on that song, just how he's holding back being angry, you know, like you're telling someone off. But the lyrics are so crazy dark and just, ooh, it can be pretty nasty. But why is it only in great and not God tier? It is a fantastic song. I think the second verse's lyrics are kind of meh, if I'm honest. Like, everyone knows it wasn't lying, Maine. Like, oh, that line just takes me out of the song every time I listen to it. I'm smashing my steering wheel while I'm driving down the road. You lying, Maine. Smashing stops. I just sit back in my seat and go, God damn it. God damn it, Zach Hill, MC Ride, Andy Moore. Why did you guys do that? Why'd you put that there? Whatever. Black Dice, great. I originally really didn't like Black Dice because no love is no love. And then you get the, you know, that very loud synth. And I just really wasn't a fan of the way that's worked off of No Love when I was when I was younger. Actually, yeah, I've been listening to Death Grips so long. I was younger when I felt that way about the song. And this is another one where I feel like when you know the lyrics, it elevates it so much higher than you otherwise would think. Just what is it? I'm a tower upon tectonic plate. No, that's the second part of it. My life when I'm about to break. I'm a tower upon tectonic plate. Just great lyrics. I'm probably saying them too fast. I'm probably talking too fast, actually. Too giddy from talking about Death Grips on the channel for once. So yeah, love Black Dice. And then we're going to move on to, well, yeah. Okay, why is it in great and not God tier? It is close to God tier, but I do still kind of feel that way about it. How it starts with the synth just blaring in your ear, like just shaking your eardrum to death, like especially coming right after No Love. So I do kind of put these songs in context of where they are in the album. That's not like the reason I don't like the intro of the song. I think just the sheer volume of that synth and how it grates on your ear, I don't think that was the best way to start the song. And then World of Dogs is good. Um, Pretty dark lyrics, but I think most people can agree they're a little too on the nose and edgy sounding. Um, Although I do find it a lot of a good song, and um, let me think here. I'm trying to think of the lyrics that I like. They're mostly on the third verse. I think everyone agrees that's probably the best. And the droning, it's all suicide. It's all suicide. And the way that works with it's all suicide. It's a world of dogs. Like that's a good drop, right? And drops you right into the verse. I think that's cool. And the it's all suicide thing drones on a bit, and the first two verses are just okay. So it's just a good Death Grip song. Lock your doors, though. Here's one. I had a very brief and not at all too serious back and forth with someone on Twitter about, and my friends disagree with me with Lock Your Doors. People just don't dig this song like I do. Sorry, guys. I'm putting Lock Your Doors in God's here. Just, ooh, this song is so good. Like, another one where the lyrics really are transcending it, even though, I do think this is the first God tier song where I actually have a negative thing to say about it. I got some shit to say just for the fuck of it. It goes on a little bit too frequently. Maybe I should put it in great. I'm gonna leave it in God tier just because everyone in my Discord would expect me to. Um, just Oblivion Transcender becomes some Shroud. I can't remember. I'm no one now. I'm nowhere now. Nowhere now. Yeah. Like. Oh, and then just invoke ancient look to the rain and the blaze ignition. Oh, come on, man. The lyrics are so good. All right, that's why it's up here because I love the lyrics. I love the boom, and it's just like with the lady's voice in the background, no one knows what she's actually saying. Maybe it's Into the Darkness or something, and then like the crowd in the background as well. Just when you play this song loud and you're screaming along to it, it is so goddamn good. All right. Moving on. Whammy. Ooh, whammy. I'm buying land acres while you're at the mall. Got to now. I feel so bad putting it in meh. Yeah, I'll put whammy in meh. I'm sorry, guys. Whammy is a fun song. It just goes on a little bit too long. I think this could have been like a 2-minute, 30-second song easily. I think the lyrics are fun and interesting. I keep on saying the lyrics are fun. Sorry if I'm repeating myself too much. It's just a whole lot of songs to get through. If I go super in-depth on every single one, that's actually an idea. If you guys have any tracks you want me to go in-depth on, just let me know. I think doing Death Grip stuff on the channel will be a lot of fun. I just want to know if people want that, because I can go on for days talking about Death Grips. So whammy, especially after Lock Your Doors, I wasn't feeling it. But again, I'm buying land acres while you're at the mall. I said acres instead of anchors, didn't I? Yeah, sorry. A little sick right now. Yeah, man, I'm just really struggling. Should I put it in meh or good? I'll say meh. Because some days I do just skip it, just get to Hunger Games, which I think is a good song. Hunger Games is a very simplistic, stripped down Death Grip song. And the lyrics, when they are on, and then, but it's clearly meant to be funny. You need a lift. You can sit between the backseat and my dick. I've tried, me, guys. I've tried diving into the lyrics of Hunger Games and trying to figure out how that fits in. I can't quite figure it out. If I'm honest, it just kind of feels like a thrown in their line, and I think that does hurt it a little bit. Keeps it from being great. I think a super stripped back Death Grip song like this could have been a lot better. Maybe if it was made, if I'm being honest here, maybe if it was made a little bit later on, by the time they had already, like in 2016 era Death Grips, if they tried something like this, even if that wasn't what they were feeling like making at the time, clearly, if they were to make one when their writing was a little bit sharper, even though the lyrics on No Love Too Bad, but the Money Store, I've already said they're fine, they're good, they're great at some points. But clearly some of the writing on No Love Too Bad wasn't too hot. There was some amazing lines, and then sometimes not so amazing lines. And so I think especially in this case with such a stripped back instrumental where the MC ride really is the song, you really needed to knock it out of the park with the lyrics, and I don't feel like they did in some in some lines. What is it? Purple Rain or something? The Purple Rain line. Oh no. Oh no, I forgot a lyric I was supposed to say. Yeah, I've been thinking about this like all week, and I thought of backseat of my dick line. That's the only one I remember. Fuck. Deep Web, meh. Deep Web's a meh. You can call me like Anthony Fantino follows me on Twitter. Okay, full disclosure. You can call me an Anthony Fantino dick rider if you want. I really don't like the whoop, 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 whoop. Hate it. Hate it. Absolutely hate it on this album. This album, and all of you is a crazy album and all, full of different sounds and tones, but that really just came out of nowhere. It's such a dark and depressing album, and then whoop, hate it. Really dislike that. And of course, people, the lyrics tend to be decent. I don't like the I'm the co-hanger in your man's vagina. What? And then. But I do like both ends of my candle counting paces. That's a good line. So it's like a back and forth with Deep Web for me. Like I like a lot of the verses. I like a lot of the lyrics in the verses. The hook itself is good. Call me crazy, but I swear my line's been tapped. And I feel like if they just had the synth line, only the synth line, because this is a stripped back Death Grips record, as everyone has said. Everyone agrees it's the most stripped back, instrumentally speaking. So why did they feel the need to include the whoop, 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 whoop? They could have just had the synth. It would have been fine. But instead, they knew almost 8 years ago now. Holy shit, the album came out 8 years ago. They knew I was going to be making the tier list. They're like, we'll make Deep Web a meh, dude. We're going to do that. Stockton is good. Again, a very stripped back one. I don't like the electricity sample in the background. I really don't think that vibes very well with music in general, but particularly when it's really just like the bass, just the drum in the background, boom, 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 and then you just got. I think that combo doesn't work too well together. I'll never forget. Been through shit like Sodom is a disgusting line. I love it. I think that's a good line. And then, just a lot of good lines from that song. But it does go on a bit. Like this sort of sound, just the drum and the bass, and then a few samples here and there. And I think it just doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm totally befuddled right now trying to think of what I'm trying to say. I don't think it works that well as a piece of music, if I'm being honest. And then just making it, I think it's about 3 minutes, 40 seconds, a longer song on this record. Didn't work too well, I think. So why isn't it good? Just the lyrics, I think. I think the lyrics save it. Like a few other songs. The lyrics save it. Pop, meh. Pop's meh. I like the very sparkly sounds on the hook. I think that's a lot of I think that's a lot of people's favorite part of the song. But then it's just the lyrics, man. It's like, what's going on here, guys? At some points it just feels like you guys forget there are other words in the English language here. Are you trying to expel every word from the English language you can, and so you're just making whatever song lyrics would fit in that particular structure, or what's up here? So I really wasn't a big fan of Pop I like the instrumentation enough to put it in meh instead of skip. If it was an annoying instrumental as well, I would probably skip it. But the lyrics are okay enough, the vocals are okay, and the instrumentation is okay. So I'll put that one in a meh. Not really offensively bad, just very, very meh. So I'll do Bass Rattle next. Get to Artificial Death at the end. Yeah, I'll put that on one in meh too. Sucks, man. So many No Love Deep Web songs in here. But, yeah, there was an issue with No Love Deep Web, and I think Death Grips really learned from it. I believe they had 20 total songs before they cut them out for the final release to 13 tracks. And even so, too many tracks. Didn't need these two songs here, Pop and Bass Rattle especially, Jesus Christ. And the lyrics on Bass Rattle aren't bad. I like the instrumentation on the hook, but then during the instrumentation during the verses, Jesus Christ, really was not very very good in my opinion. I'm lost for words with bass rattle because I really haven't listened to it that much, like maybe 50 times or so probably total. It's just not the song for me. And then Artificial Death in the West. So here we go. Here we go. The comeback. Artificial Death in the West is great. Tons of absolutely fantastic lines, and the instrumentation is just a very good way. I think this was a good idea. Taking it down a couple pegs for the final song of No Love Deep Web was a great call, in my opinion. I just need my desk. I'm sorry if you heard that. But yeah, Artificial Death is just lyrically very decent, very good. I shouldn't say decent there. And instrumentally is very good as well. It just goes on a little bit too long for me. Even though I love the verses and I like the lyrics on the hook as well, it goes on a little bit too long. There's a little bit too long fuddling about with the beat. Sometimes you just let the beat play, and it's like it works really well when MC Red's talking. You know, that's kind of the point of Death Grips. Is just how I feel about Artificial Death. So at times. Overall, a great song though. So you might think he loves you for your money, but I know what he really loves you for. It's your brand new leopard skin pillbox hat, I believe is the full title. I mean, God tier. Easy God tier. Come on, guys. You didn't think I was going to put this anywhere else, did you? So you might think he loves you is just... wow. I mean, that is just... well, especially the live performances where MC Ride just does these... it is truly insane. I don't know how he does it without breaking his vocal cords. Maybe he has. They haven't done a live show in a little bit here. But just the way he performs it is just the way I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so intense. The instrumentation, even though it is mostly instrumentation, actually, I believe it, the instrumental, you know, the bow now, you know, that. I believe that covers most of the song. And then it just works wonders with the verses that he throws in here. I think it was a really good structure for the song. It just comes together in a very meaty way, where how it's just these completely manic verses. Oh no, I was gonna do the verse from this song too. The verse I really like. Stretch out like this my sigils the epitaph. Yeah, it was supposed to be that whole line, but now I fucked it up. Oops. But yeah, just these super manic verses, and then come fuck apart in here. It's so good, so great, so God tier actually. And Bonnie is great, I think. People, you know, they aren't really raving about it. Sorry about the the way this artwork turned out. I couldn't find a good way to do it, guys. I'm sorry. Looking back on it, what I should have done is just erase the death part of the Government Plates thing and just put the text inside of there. It would have shown up just fine, I think. So, oops. Well, honestly, this is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be, if I'm being honest. So, sorry about that. So, and Bonnie, I think, is great. It's another one of those ones that's just really helped out by knowing the lyrics. And just I think, oh man, MC Red's vocal performance in this, he just goes nuts for like no reason, man. But he's just, it's like almost Come Up and Get Me levels of just him going ham, absolutely ham. And I think it works really great with the instrumental here on Anne Bonnie, which isn't too busy, isn't a very busy instrumental, but it is a lot of fun. I like it. That was the most shit rendition of the Anne Bonnie instrumental ever, but whatever. I really enjoy it, basically. And then just saying, yeah, I called you dude a bitch, that's just awesome. So, To Heavens is all I know. Is good. I know a lot of people really enjoy this one. I don't like, the one I can say I don't like about To Heavens is the and you'll see in Government Plates, I don't like that sound. Don't like that sort of very heavy treble synthy sound. And Sorry, I'll say it now. You'll find that I don't like a whole lot. Well, not don't like, but I'm very meh on a lot of Government Plates. Even though absolutely love the concept of Government Plates album. So I'll just get that out of the way now. All I need is my fix, something, something, something. Just decent lyrics on here. I'll fuck your idols, suck my dick, right? And I really like the visuals on this one as well. Just like the hammer sweating in front of the fan. I think you sort of get the idea here with that one. I think it's just good though, you know? It doesn't really transcend any boundaries that Death Grips has done before. It just feels good. It's just a good Death Grips song. This is Violence Now is a skip. Really don't enjoy this song. And I don't... Dude, I've skipped this song so many times. Are there even verses on This Is Violence Now? All I remember is just, This is Violence Now. It just goes on for minutes, but it feels like it's going on for hours. Not a fan. Sorry. Really don't like that song. Birds. I Got Tomorrow Coming. Great song. Really enjoy Birds. And just thanks to Robert Pattinson for plucking his guitar 3 times and then leaving. Is he even credited officially on the vinyl? I think he is. Yeah, I think he is. And it's a really decent Death Grip song. Just a few of the refrains just take it a little bit out of God tier for me. Really interesting, really intriguing lyrics that you can dive into for hours on end if you'd like, and I think it works pretty well as a whole package. It works pretty well, and then it's very quotable as well, and the instrumentation, the broken up guitar, even though Robert Pattinson plucked his guitar 3 times and called it a day, the way it's cut up and then placed in together, it works really well with the really disjointed lyrics and the really lackadaisical way. I really hope that's the right word. Lackadaisical way that MC Ride does the verses. And I really like the robo ride, as I like to call it. I'm pretty sure it's him doing the vocals on the robotic parts. The I got tomorrow coming, I got. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to move on to Feels Like a Wheel Skip. Don't need to tell you guys why this is a skip. It feels like a wheel. Terrible. I'm Overflow's meh. It's just another one that just teeters on. A lot of these Government Plate songs just teeter on. It's just doing the synth in 808. It sounds like repetitively over and over. It's like throwaway No Love Deep Web instrumentation. And then but then they're like, we threw these instrumentals out. Let's just repeat them over and over again, and then that'll be our song. But I'm Overflow isn't that bad an example of it. Now there's Big House, which I'll put in meh. I like the Leg Creeping in My Skin part. I like the One-Way Ticket to Big Island. Okay, he doesn't say it like that, but I think that's decent. This is gonna be so boring, guys. Sorry, I'm really not a big fan of Government Plates. I dove into this album, I think for a month. I was doing nothing but listening to Government Plates, trying to figure it out, seeing what I see, hearing what I hear, and it just, okay, I'll say it right now. Hopefully, I don't do a in-depth on Government Plates ever, but essentially, I feel like it's just being so high out of your mind that you end up overdosing. And what it's like dying in that sort of state, right? Say for instance, you, abuse prescription medication, maybe you use heroin, something along those lines, and then you're teetering off into the next life while you're high, and that's what I feel like Government Plates is trying to represent, what with the very abstract visuals as well, and very abstract lyrics, and then very spacey instrumentation. In music form, though, that's very interesting. That's what I interpreted from the visuals and the album itself. That's what I interpreted from it. If that is the case, I don't think it works out well as an audio medium. I think as a holistic piece, it's good, um, but then just in music form, it's not very good. Government Plates is a skip, really boring, really boring track. I even forget the lyrics about this one. There's like a cargo container in the video, and then a bootleg. That's a big old skip for me there, Sonny boy. Wow, bootleg sucks. Like this that song sucks so much ass, man. Like I can get enthused talking about how much I hate bootleg. No, I don't need you. No, I don't need you. No, I don't need you. That's the fucking song. They put that on an album, man. Fuck me. Whatever I want is good. Um, whatever I want is. It's one of my favorite songs for half of the songs. For half of the song. You know what I mean? This is just one of those ones where they needed to take a chill pill with how long they made this one. I really enjoyed the verses. My head in furnace, proof of purchase, so on and so forth. And those are great lyrics, and I really enjoy how the song is put together. But then it just, you know the part, guys. What up, whoa, for like 5 minutes. Well, it feels like 5 minutes. I believe it's about a minute and 30 seconds total of the song. This is one song, guys, and it's 1 minute and 30 seconds of him just repeatedly saying what up, and so on. And it just repeats, and then and then this just fades out. Really was not digging the second half of this song, even though like the first half, easy God tier, I really enjoy it, and then it just teeters, man, teeters forever. but actually teeters forever. It isn't just like one of the other Government Plate songs, but it's teetering on for actually 2 minutes. No, it just teeters forever, into the ether, but that's why I thought the album was about passing on to the next life, while you're in I guess inebriated with high as shit, basically, just with the way it fades out, just the repetition and so on. And in that sense, it is good if you interpret it the way I do. But again, if you're just listening to it passing through, if you're on, say, a Death Grip shuffle, you're gonna be skipping it after the first half, man. So that sucks. Up my sleeves. Jesus Christ, with the album name too. Fuck. God damn it. Up My Sleeves from Men's on the Moon. Easy God tier. Love Up My Sleeves, and just, well, you guys know what the song's about. Not going to get too personal here, but yeah. This song has some fucking sick lyrics. Like Quench My Hearse is just God tier. And just really just the depressing lines, oh yeah, I'm temporary and shit like that. It's a very depressing song. And then just the outro as well is just beyond sad, right? And however you interpret what he means by being up my sleeves, whatever he keeps up his sleeves, whatever you interpret that to be. Obviously, I have my own ideas, but we won't go into that because we'll be here all day if I do. And I think just the lyrics work wonders. His vocal performance is chilling and mind-blowing. The instrumentation is a little too loud. I will say that. I think the repeated Bjork vocals, where it's like I don't know what I want to call it. Like it's sort of reverberating. I think it's a little too loud in the background, if I'm being honest. Death Grip's too loud now. But still, I think it is a little too loud. But other than that, stellar song. Just fucking great. Love every refrain, every verse, the hook itself. Is there even a hook on Up My Sleeves technically? I don't think so, but whatever. Billy Not Really, another God tier. Fuck you, Helltech. Helltech's a person in my Discord server, for those who don't know. Billy Not Really, my favorite lyrics on every Death Grip song, barring Get Got. I know that whole song. If I get going, whatever, I'll just do it. The I Man, Tsunami Pharaoh, Get Barreled in Other Worlds, No Hand, Sea of Pearls, Burning Frozen Jerichos, I Man, Herzog, Shooting Solitaire, No Hands, Save Nova, Shakula, Zulu, Simon, Bula, Slayer, Flicker Mars, ooh shit, ooh shit, Flicker Mars, shit, I'm not shit. That's great. I fucking love this song, guys. Like, this song is the fucking shit, and these fucking people in my Discord server don't like it, man. Like, what? It has the best instrumental on wow, I almost said it. On Man's is on the Moon. It's got the best instrumental from that, the best lyrics, I would say, on this album. Love it. Loved it to death. So Black Quarterback, I think, is great. Contrary to what others say. I actually like the intro the most. It took me it took me like a month to find out the lyrics, really get the groove for it. I'm so black quarterback. Whatever. I won't do it all again because I just did the whole Billy Not Really verse. So, actually really like the intro and the way that leads into the hook. Um, however you view this particular song, a lot of people say he's referring to race in this. I don't think it's necessarily just race. I think race plays a part of it. I don't think I probably don't want to get too far into this, but yeah, I mean, if you interpret it in such a way as with race, I think it has a lot to say, depending on how you interpret it. There's just so many different situations you could put these lyrics in. I almost said it again. On the Moon is so abstract that you can draw so much from just one song. So many different interpretations of it. So however you interpret it is absolutely acceptable. If you believe it's about race, if it's not about race. And that's what I like so much about On the Moon as a project. Is it's so at least I feel it's very abstract in the lyricism, and of course the beat as well is very interesting. But the Bjork samples. Say Hey Kid, I think it's good. It's good. No, get out of meh, bro. Okay. Say Hey Kid, I think is good. I think, it's probably my least favorite on the Moon as an album. It's just lacking panache, I think, if that's a word. It's lacking the pizzazz, right, that the other songs do. I think the lyrics are cool, but I feel like they're a little bit repetitive. I think the beat is cool, but repetitive. Not enough change ups, I feel, and that's an issue I feel on Have a Sad Come as well, which I think is just good. It's good, right? But it is a repetitive song. Obviously, this doesn't help with them splicing the Bjork vocals, the Bjork vocals, as much as they do, how repetitive they are as well. And just Have a Sad Come, I think, is like a hook too long, I would say. Like a hacker. Like, it's just a hook or a verse too long. And I think it would really do with... I like the robotic verses, but making them a little bit more coherent, I think, would have helped the song out a lot, given that it is 3 minutes 42 seconds. If I get that right, I deserve a medal. I don't remember the duration of Have a Sad Come. It's just a little too long for what it is. It's like an instrumental to sort of take the first 4 songs and then put it into the latter half of the album. And I don't think it needed to be as long as it was, because I feel like that's the purpose it serves. Fuck Me Out, I think, is good as well. Same sort of issues I have, actually. Even though it is such a sporadic song, I think it is actually still quite repetitive. Not just the fuck boom blam, fuck glue glam, fuck idiot, fuck whatever. That section of the song where he says fuck before every successive word. That's obviously not my favorite part of the album. I think it's a very interesting conversation to have in this era, I would say. Say what you will about other eras, but this is obviously a very, like, we're really, at least in America, can't speak on other countries, really open about sexuality and such, and this sort of explores the issues that such a casual sexual relations can have, and I think that's interesting. It's a really sporadic and confused song, I feel, and yeah, I think it's good. It is just very repetitive and such. So then voila is good as well. Very, very abstract lyrics, I feel, on this one. I know someone kind of put me in my place, I'll be honest, on Reddit once by explaining to me what he interpreted from the lyrics. I actually disagreed with him in multiple respects. I'm forgetting what he's saying. He was, explaining the very, very interesting hook. Okay, both lyrically and performance-wise. Oh my God. Priest win $5. Quackley Priest win $5. Shit like that. It's really abstract lyrics, and it's very interesting, I think. But I think it is a little too abstract for my liking. Call me an idiot or whatever. But the lyrics were just a little too abstract for me to get into, and the reprise after the hook You know, the where he because it was revealed by Zach Hill that they were attaching. I keep on saying, I'm sorry. They keep on they attached the Bjork samples to his V drum kit, right? So every time he was playing the guitar, he was actually playing the samples as he was his guitar. Jesus Christ! Every time he was hitting his drums, he was playing a Bjork sample, and I think he really went crazy on the. I think it's a reprise after the hook, and then before it slows down into the verse. Didn't like it. I want to do an example of it, but I can't. You know, it's too sporadic. You guys know what I'm talking about if you heard the song. Let's move on to Big Dipper, which I feel is great. Really fun outro. Really good lyrics as well. Really enjoyable. Again, very very extract lyrics. As well in this one. Matt Moxisa Buffer is Junkie Monk. Oh my god, Junkie. No, I forgot the second word. Then to Mumbai Lit is the end of that line. Shit, I forgot the word. Junkie Moxie Mumbai Lit, I think is it? Is that it? A cat walk backwards out the box through holes in your dirty socks. Shit like that is just like really abstract and interesting. But you know, sometimes you can really get lost in trying to translate that into a way that works for you, you know? So I think it's a little too abstract in that way. Then the outro, I know a lot of people like it. It's sort of the album literally dissolving in front of you as the samples just go absolutely apeshit, and Zach's going apeshit on the drums, on the V drums, using those Bjork vocals. It worked. It worked well, I think. I think it's a little too long though. I think it could have been maybe 30 seconds shorter. All right, we'll shoot straight through Fashion Week, okay, guys? So, I think a whole lot of Fashion Week is just okay. Listen to it earlier. So N2, you're going to good. And then we're going to... Sorry about that, guys. We're just going to put the rest in meh. Really don't dig Fashion Week that much. For me, it's just... it's just a little too repetitive, right? I think the songs just go on for a little bit too long with very little change-up. And sometimes that's all you need an instrumental to be. Right? So not going to put it in skippable, even though I don't listen to it. If, say, a Fashion Week song comes on, I'm not going to skip it, though. You know what I mean? So I think in that sense, I'll put it in meh. So we're going to move on to Jenny Death. Shit, this is dangerous because I fucking love Jenny Death. I can't get to talking too long. I know this is almost an hour now, and we're only at Jenny Death. Let's go. I break mirrors when I face the United States. Oh, fuck me, where did I put this? Shit. I'm having a crisis. I didn't think of where to put this song. Got here. Sorry, I gotta do it. I Break Mirrors in My Face, the United States is just awesome. Just fucking, It's like you might think he loves you for your money. And just this is a short, sweet, visceral, amazing song. The lyrics aren't Shakespeare, but they are great. You know, it's not Get Got or Billy Not Really Tear for me, but I really enjoyed the lyrics. And then the vocal performance, out of this world, fantastic. Too many mirrors wear my face. These broken mirrors, my mistake, shit, something like that. I don't know. Did I forget the lyrics on that one? Oops. Instrumental, one of my favorite Death Grips instrumentals. Maybe people just think, I don't know. Maybe people don't like the instrumental as much as I do, because that's what makes the song for me. Just those little poppy little synth notes, I think work just wonders. I think it's great. Like Inanimate Sensation, which I'll put in great. Inanimate, I'd love to put in God's here, but I think it is a little too long. It's just like I don't want to cut any of the verses because I do like them all. It's just, sometimes if it's like, if I didn't know it exists, I wouldn't mind if it was gone, right? Like, I wouldn't want, if I'm listening to Inanimate Sensation now, after listening to the album for almost holy shit, after almost 5 years of listening to this album, I wouldn't want those verses gone now. But it's just like, if Inanimate Sensation were released without one of the, I think it's 4 total verses, if it was released without one of them, I'd be okay with it, right? We'd all be okay with it, I think. I think the song would benefit from being a little bit shorter. They also, I believe they wanted this to be like almost a manifesto just of the digital age. And I think it does that very well. It's just a little too it's repetitious in a way. I know they're coming from different angles. You know, when you've got the whispery voice, the regular MC ride, and then the low pitched voice, they're all supposed to be coming from different angles, tackling the same sort of issues. But I think that it just, you start hearing these lyrics, which are technically different, and then but then when you boil them down, you try to understand them. They're kind of saying the same thing over and over. Everyone loves. I like my iPod. Holy shit! I like my iPod more than fucking, which is the final line from a verse on this song. But it's a great line and all, but it is kind of what he's been saying the whole song. Just kind of just putting it more bluntly. Turned Off is great. It's a fucking great song. Just, maybe it's God Tier. I don't know. Maybe I should put in God Tier. Turned Off is fucking fantastic. I'm turned off. Won't be back soon. Look up, see mine, slap the moon. I'm turned off. Like a myth. Can't look me up. I don't exist. I spin the chamber. Two of my lips. I pull the trigger. I don't exist. It's so fucking good, dude. The lyrics are so fucking metal. Shit. And the instrumental is so fucking metal, too. It's fucking... It's so angry, and you think it's like he's talking about hating other people. But no, it's weird, man. It's so aggressive and such. So you assume he's like bashing other people, saying like, "Oh, I fucking kill so many people and shit, dude. I'm awesome." But he's really just talking about how he's disconnected from society. But he's putting death grips as a holistic group are putting it in such a aggressive manner, And I think that it works wonders. Like the vocal performance matched with the lyrics, you wouldn't expect it to work, but it really does. It's awesome. Just why isn't it great? Not God Tier. When it's like it's turned off time, I'm listening to Turned Off. The intro works wonders, but then if you're in like a Death Grip shuffle or something, the intro is a little long. I think it works well when it's just like, I want to listen to Turned Off right now. Let me listen to that song real quick. The intro works great, but then when you're just surfing through your Death Grip songs, it's a little bit too long. Why Bitch Gotta Lie is God Tier for me. Love-hate song for a lot of people. Obviously, I'm in the love category. Mathematically, I think I worked it out the other day. I think almost 3,000 times I've listened to this song, likely. And a lot of that is listening to it in the car, listening to it while gaming. So not like direct ear listening, okay? Direct listening is probably in the hundreds, but still, just listen to the song way more than I should have. And why? Well, I wanted to... let's put it this way, guys. My first Death Grips video that I wanted to make was going to be breaking down Why Bitch Gotta Lie. The video was over an hour. Okay? This song I fucking just absolutely adore. And I think it would be my favorite Death Grip song, if not for the lyrics. The lyrics are a little bit too simplistic and at times can feel a little cringy with how braggadocious they are. But I think if I can break it down for you guys real quick, hopefully you don't mind. I think the song is about the reason for the robotic vocals is sort of a mirrored image of our digital self, how people are, when they're behind a monitor, essentially, when they're behind the keyboard warriors, so on and so forth. Those people are very braggadocious. They feel almost untouchable, and in a way, they are untouchable because once something's on the internet, it's never gone, and so on. So it almost is like our internet selves are almost invincible and eternal in that sense, and they can spell doom for others, but no one can really spell doom for our footprints online. And so that's why I think the lyrics are the way they are. The reason for the robotic vocals. And let's get into what else I really like about the song. Quick time. Talk about the song too long already. Instrumentation, favorite instrumentation of any Death Group song. Really love just that just cacophony of sounds going on. And there's just the fantastic drumming from Zach Hill. And the second to last verse, when they come off the really crazy instrumental little tirade towards the middle of the song, when it leads into the why bitch gotta lie, and then try and tame me, I'll redirect, and if fucker tame me yet, if it's trying to tame me, be my guest. That verse has my favorite instrumentation, is my favorite part of any Death Grip song ever. I think that's just amazing the way it all works together, and just in the background the bass going boo doo 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 boo doo 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 boo doo doo boo. It's so fucking it's like a sort of sexy sound, but it's also just like it's almost like a troublemaker type sound. You know what I mean? Like what was that kid's name? That little shit. Dennis the Menace? Yeah, like that's his fucking theme song. That's a little fucker's. That's a little fucker's theme. It's like a mischievous sort of sound. It just sounds so great behind these robotic vocals, and it's just fantastic. And then of course goes into the why bitch gotta lie hook section there, and try and take me, I'll make you mine. Why bitch gotta lie, boom 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 boom. And then you got the little wind chime from the beginning. I don't know what it is, a flute or something in the background as well. It's just fucking fantastic stuff. Love that song. Psst, psst, don't love quite as much though. I'll try and go a little bit quicker through this now because I'm going to talk a lot about on GP. So psst, psst, I think it's just good. Is obviously, man, if you are uncomfortable with sexual ideas and so on and so forth, don't like that as a backbone of the song, you'd hate psst, psst. It's just, there's talk about licking up cum. So, well, it's inferred. But lick up the place like you're psst, psst, and pissing on people and stuff like that. So if you're a little bit more sensitive to that, you would absolutely despise the song. And it goes on a little too long. And the instrumental riff between the hook and the final verse is a little too long. Where I think it's got the chanting guy in the background. Kind of felt unnecessary. I think they just wanted to more emphasize what the song's all about, right? And I think that it does capture the song pretty well, but they could have just gone from the hook to the verse with a simple beat switch up instead. Because the final verse is very different from the other two verses. It's just yeah, it's just not didn't need to be quite as long as it was. Same sort of issue as I Wanted, I Need It, but a little less severe. The powers that be, that's a rough one, man. Like, it's so good, but it's just not there for me. I don't know what it is, man. I'll put it in good. It's many people call it the hardest Death Grip song ever. It's just their most explosive, and I think that works against it almost. It's so MC Ride is so over the top. The beat is so unbelievably aggressive and loud that I think it goes a little overboard, and I get a little bored with it. Like it kind of feels like almost every vocal performance is the same, and a lot of the lyrics are very samey. It feels, and it's just even though it's great, I like what I'm hearing. It's great when I put it in good. It's good. I like what I'm hearing, but it's just something that just doesn't make it that good or that great. Fuck. I have the tears in front of me and I'm not saying them. All right, whatever. Beyond Alive. Beyond Alive. Where do you go, you fucking weird song? I don't want to put it in meh. I don't want to put any Death Grip Jenny the song in meh. Shit, dude. I'll put it in good, but just know on a bad day it's meh. It is way too long. The hook sounds like it's a high school rock band hook. Right, people, you know who you are. Cowards, we know what. Yeah, it's not my favorite. Not my favorite of all time. I'll be real. And then the verses are fun, but I don't like the instrumentation in the background. The I don't think it fit it very well. I think the lyrics are decent, and then the reason it's in good and not meh is the outro. That outro is fucking unbelievably good. It is such a great outro to the song, but the song's not that good. The rest of it is just meh, and then the outro is god tier. My life has a face without eyes. Look away, look away, look away, look away. No, let me out of life. It's awesome. Fucking great outro. Fuck, the song's not good though. I put it in good anyways because the outro is so good. Centuries of Damn I think is good as well. This is actually a song I have a very big attachment to. I just really enjoy the lyrics, and everyone likes the hook. The bam, I think everyone enjoys that enough. And I really like the lyrics on the verse, but everyone knows this song is longer than it should be. It could easily be a 4 minute, like Turned Off and Why Bitch Got Lie length. A little over 4 minutes and 30 seconds would be just fine for this song. But instead, it's 5 minutes 32 seconds, and they clearly went to match the duration of some songs. But as far as I know, the fandom hasn't. We're a crazy, like, you hear me talking, dude. We're crazy people. We can't figure out why the duration of some of the Jenny Death songs are exactly the same. I don't really see the reason why. Maybe they made this song that duration unintentionally. I believe it's the same duration as The Powers That Be, the song. But yeah, it just doesn't need to be that long, man. Unfortunately, even though I love Fashion Rocket, Shoot You Mercury for the Winter, Extended Vacation Till I Decompose on My Splinters, it's just god tier lines. Few lines here and there that I really enjoy, but too long, so that sucks. On GP, of course, got to put that in god tier. On GP is just it is the song for me, even though it's not my favorite song of all time or my favorite Death Grip song of all time. It's just a song, the song that just sums things up, really. I feel, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but it is fucking On GP, the song that goes down. It's just it's something you just keep on coming back to over and over again. Like the background music I'm using, I just realized it's just the same thing repeating. Oops, sorry about that. But yeah, and then the lyrics, of course, just chilling stuff. Really, really admirable of them to, sort, because Death Grips, as we saw in On the Moon, can be super abstract and hard to get a read on. So really pulling back the veil and talking like they did. I'm assuming it wasn't just. I don't believe it was just MC Ride just letting personal issues out. I think it was the congealment of Death Grips talking to us in that particular instance. Even though Stefan name drops himself, I think they were talking about something that they all felt in a way. Coming forward like that was, I think, really respectable, and they just did it in still a very poetic and interesting way. How do I don't know where to cut the verse off if I want to repeat the specific one I'm talking about. Don't you worry nothing about don't you worry impossible for anything to be a big deal. I'm in nowhere my venerable state, but clearly but ages since life at appeal. Like shit like that's just awesome. Even though it's very dark, right? Technically not awesome, but still just great lyrics. And the organ in the background was a fantastic touch. Really glad whoever came up with it. Death Grips 2.0. Sorry, skipping you. People, I just saw a post the other day on Reddit where people said they liked it. Don't like it. Thought it was unnecessary. I think it could have abruptly ended on GP, and I think that would have suited it a lot better. I would like the abrupt end, really. But I think this song solely exists to have the idea of Death Grips 2.0 there. Because I think there's a very clear difference between Exmiltary through... what would you want to say, guys, here? Exmiltary through On the Moon and Jenny Death to Year of the Snitch. I think those are two very, very different places of Death Grips. And I think the Powers That Be is that sort of bridge, essentially, to Death Grips 2.0. And I think that's all the song is there to do is just say, Death Grips 2.0. Can you tell the difference? Yes, by the way. And I think it's a decent instrumental. Again, too long. And it's an instrumental that doesn't need to exist, in my view. So, okay, move on to not Fashion Week, sorry. And yeah, these are supposed to be numbered, not lettered. My bad for that. But again, guys, this was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. And I'll put them all meh, pretty much, except for track 2, which I'll put in good. And the second to last track there, and then skip the last track. Don't like the last track. Another one that I think it is better than Fashion Week for the most part. I think it's a little bit more interesting, and then a little bit more concise, which I'm sure everyone can see that. So I like it for that, but I think it's just Fashion Week was just there as a sort of in between, and they did the Jenny Death one thing to sort of troll us, because I'm sure all that was going on with Jenny Death is just that they needed the samples cleared, they needed the Powers That Be, which is of course a fold out double album. They needed that to be produced and so on, and that's what the wait was for. So they were kind of just trolling us with this, saying, well, we can't really do anything right now. We can't just leak this album. We just got out of this huge controversy with Epic Records. So here you go. Have some instrumentals. This one suits the video extremely well. And to the day I die, I'll be emailing Mr. Matthew Hoffman, I believe is his name. I'll be emailing you to know what they said. And I'm sure it would be very disappointing if on his deathbed he told me. And giving bad people good ideas. Moving into Bottomless Pit here, guys. Sorry. I'm going to put it in good. Sorry. Don't kill me, okay? I think it's just good, is all. Damn. We're going to start giving bad people good ideas. I think it is a good song. I just don't see why people like it so much, man. I'll be real. I'm going to keep it 2,000. I don't know why people like it so much. I think the constant just over the head smash was very boring. Didn't like it. Didn't like the instrumentation there. I felt like excuse me if you heard that. I thought the vocals got way too buried in the song, way too buried. And when you actually go up and look at the lyrics, I think they're fun lyrics. They suit the instrumental. Nothing special though. And then yeah, I just thought it's a good opener for Bottomless Pit, but this wasn't too hot on it. Like we have the single version of Hothead down here, like the album version of Hothead. It suits Bottomless Pit more, but I don't like the album version as much as the single version. I know the album version adds a lot to the song. It's just that I think they really nerfed the aggression and raw feeling of the single version here. Maybe I would like it more if I didn't know the single version existed, right? But I do, and this is the reality we live in. So Hothead's just good, and yet nothing in the song lives up to the intro, and that's my issue. When it revs up, it just goes ham. Nothing recaptures that and the remainder of the song, and that's an issue I have with it. Spikes, though, is great. I think Spikes is insanely catchy, insanely catchy lyrics, insanely catchy vocal performance, and just the instrumentation, while not my favorite, is a lot of fun. I think during the hook, when it goes like, that wasn't my favorite, and I think because it's repeated, because it's the hook, that does bring it down a peg for me from just like a god tier, really fun, awesome, spicy Death Grip song. It puts it down to great. But it is very not bumpy, like poppy and like just fun to listen to. It's a very fun and engaging song. Warping. I'll put it in meh. I think its place in the album's awful. I think maybe they wanted like a bridge between something as explosive as Spikes and into They wanted something to sort of bridge that gap. I think Warping really is lacking though. Really, I like the lyrics, but then just the I don't even know if that last part was a part of the instrumental, but really did not take that instrumental one bit. And then the vocal performance itself, yeah, you fit it with the instrumental, but the instrumental's not good either to me. So for me, when he goes like influence, sexy, cute, when he's making his performance noticeably slower and slurred, no, did not like that. Sorry. And then is good. I like It is obviously a little too subdued, and the instrumentation is a little too repetitive. But is a good little track. Very enjoyable little track. It's just there's not a whole lot to say about it. It is like the lyrics are quite repetitive as well. We very much know what he's trying to say and convey with this particular song. it's just even if it's, I think it's 2 minutes 51 seconds, the duration on this song, it still feels like he's repeating himself so much in such a short duration. So that is an issue. But I really like the. I fucked up that. I fucked that up so bad. Oh my god. But okay, I like the instrumentation, even if I can't repeat it very well for you. I like the lackadaisical vocal performance. The lyrics themselves, well, yeah, repetitive and generic. They are decent. So yeah, I think it's a good Death Grip song. Bubbles buried in this jungle. Bubbles buried in this jungle. Fucking yes! That is a Death Grip song. I've got fucking angry. I'm getting fucking angry. Think about that song, man. That's a good song. Everyone loves the fucking scream at the start of the song. The ah. That's the best you're getting from me. That's my best impression of Bubbles buried in this jungle. And of course the hook. Fuck. We. No respect. I think I missed a line there. Oops. But yeah, great hook. Just very, very catchy hook. Pretty fun verses, but the verses is what keeps it from God tier for me. I think the verses lyrically are decent, and then are like the instrumentation during the verses is just okay for me, and Bubbles. And then the hook is God tier, easy God tier hook, but the verses are more just like good Death Grips verses, but the transitions between the two are great. So there's that. Trash. Here's one that you will not be expecting. Trash is good. I like Trash. People hate this song, man. Like, people are like, well, it's intentionally bad because your name is Trash. Well, maybe, but I actually like it. I really enjoy the instrumentation during the verses. It's just great. Maybe I'm just like simplistic because all it is just going. I got the beat so wrong there, but I really like it, and I like a lot of the lyrics I'm hearing, even though a lot of them are just or just the hook over and over. I like the lyrics during the verses as well, and even though the horn sound effect, I know they're not live horns, obviously. But obviously, horns being played on a synth, I think, is what it is. During the hook, doesn't sound fantastic. I do still enjoy it, and I really enjoy the wrong side of my machete, Fallout, Mercury, Confetti, Ebony Skies Have Died Already. I like that verse a lot. So yeah, I think Trash is good, man. Sorry, Houdini, good as well. It's weird, man. Like with Trash, I feel like I have to explain why I think it's good. And then with giving bad people good ideas, I have to explain so much on why I think it's just good and not great or God tier song. So in that sense, it makes it seem like it's a lot more negative than I intend it to be, because I feel like I have to. It's more important that I take the time to justify why I'm putting it where it is, relative to where I believe most of the community put these songs. So sorry if it feels like I'm ragging on a lot of these songs I put in good and great. But they're obviously in their tier for a reason. So keep that in mind. I do think these songs are all good or great. So moving on with Houdini. It is just the only issue I have with Houdini. I like the lyrics, like the instrumental. I think it's all very interesting. It just feels like a song, That's the one issue I have with it. There's just nothing that pops it out, other than the fact that everyone thought MC Ride was saying pussy turd during the hook instead of pussy church before they read the lyrics. I think that's the only thing that makes it stick out, man. I think it's got a good hook that can get stuck in your head for a little while. 3, 4, fuck you, baby, just showing it Houdini, baby. 3, that's fun. It just feels like a song, though, at the end of the day, to me. And it's not the one that sticks with me, going forward. And then BB Poison. This song's fucking tragic, dude. This song is so tragic. I'll put it in good. It's just a song with this fucking sick of an instrumental, an instrumental this fucking raw and dirty. It should be so much better than it is. I think I really like the hook. I sneak up on me, shit my schmut. I think that works really well. And then the verses, though, I think have a really bad instrumental. I really don't like it. You know, the you know, it's like doing. It's not a telegram, or is it? Telepathy? Whatever. It's like someone doing Morse code on the good old synth there, going, and it's really does not work well whatsoever with the absolutely insane beat that's on the hook. And obviously, you want a beat switch up in a song like this if you're just doing the very bassy hook instrumental throughout the whole song and during the verses and so on. It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be a positive thing. Um, just man, I just wish the lyrics were better. Really, is the big one for me. And it was supposed to be this big. It was almost a fourth wall break. You know, with the "it won't lit," how everyone was repeating "it won't lit." And I think the song is about how BB Poltergeist was almost like a poltergeist, making us do things by repeating "it won't lit," by repeating "Death Grips is online." In that sense, it's almost like a poltergeist through the internet, in a way. Was I think the a small little idea just with the name. It was obviously a way to get themselves back on Twitter in an interesting way. But I think the big payoff for "It Won't Lit" being this song, if you want to qualify it as that, you don't have to qualify it as that. But this being the payoff for that whole experience through Jenny Death and then leading up to Bottomless Pit, it was just okay. And then Three Bedrooms, though, of course. I mean, we got to put Three Bedrooms in great. Like, of course. Three bedrooms in a good neighborhood, on fire like a margarita made out of wood. She got solar panels for there. You know the song, guys. But yeah, really, just a shit ton. This is like Spikes, where it's just great death gripsing going on here. It's just a really fun and interesting instrumental. Really interesting, but also very fun lyrics that get caught in your head constantly. Beat switch ups are very, very good as well. And yeah, I think the song is a blast. But again, like a lot of these songs that aren't great, there's just that something that's not quite there that just pushes it up beyond anything else for me. So Three Bedrooms, yeah. Three Bedrooms is great. Duh. Ring a Bell is tricky because it has one of the best Death Grips moments of all time. The the first drop of the hook is like one of the best Death Grips moments ever. I think the song is only good though. Man, look at fucking Bottomless Pit covering the entirety of the good section. But yeah, this is where the idea from the Fever comes in, where it's the crazy aggression in the verse, and then mix up with a very sexy, catchy, awesome sounding hook. In the instrumentation, at least, that she's so be thirsty, thought I heard a mosquito, she know. Like, that's awesome. And then just the very abrasive verses are supposed to counteract that. Doesn't work as well here, though, I feel, I think the guitar and the instrumentation in the verses is too much. It's just too abrasive, and the MC Rice's vocal performance there was too nasally. I feel it's like look at Shady. Again, it's supposed to be super aggressive, but it didn't work for me there. It just really brought the song down. Amazing hook though. Everyone likes that hook. 808080808 is good, but the problem with it lies exactly with what I just did, and I didn't dig the little too repetitive for my liking, even though I like the idea behind it. And then the the fees the gang move, but it's eat to the can't move. The instrumentation in that part, not my favorite. When it goes, but of course the outro was just awesome. I gotta take notes from music reviewers on how to not act out the song, how to actually describe it better. My bad on that. But it's probably funny for you guys, so fuck it, right? Yeah, 808 has some awesome lyricism on the bridge. I believe the song is a bridge, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it's technically a bridge and not a verse, is what I should say. The lyrics on the verses, lyrics on the bridges, the hook itself. Again, I didn't like the bridge. I assume you could call it a bridge. Between when it goes from to the I wasn't a big fan of that section in particular. Okay, let's move on to the title track before I lose my voice here. Holy shit, going for almost an hour and a half. Bottomless Pit is a lot of fun, but it is repetitive fun because the guitar, the fun, but goes on for the entirety of the track, and it just kind of doesn't stop, man. Not the end of the world because it is a lot of fun. Suits the vocal performance very well, and the lyrics themselves are great too. Of course, the "I fucked you in half, do 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 do, I fucked you in half, do 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 do." That's a lot of fun, but it is repetitive at the very least, and the lyrics are interesting, but not something you can really sink your teeth into. And yeah, it has been mentioned, which I agree with here, that it is actually pretty different from the rest of the album. I think that works against it a little bit, is that it's a little bit different. Like how Given Bad People, Head, yeah, like how the first two tracks and the final track are a lot different than what's sandwiched in between. And maybe that's the idea. But, like the beginning of the pit and the end of the pit are different, I guess? Or are the same? Oh, shit. That kind of makes sense, huh? Oh, well, whatever. Okay, we're going to move on to Steroids here. Steroids, the boy. So, I'll explain real quick how I... cut these up. So, supposedly, the super fast, the squeaky section is different because the transfer. I'm actually dumb. The transition between the bitch section, I'll call it bitch, the B section, and the C section is so smooth. So many people just interpreted that as one song. The My Whole Life section, then the squeaky section, and then Bald Head Girl. Was believed to be that, but since that's technically not the case according to Death Grips, I've done that here, which is My Whole Life. Second part, the squeaky part. I should have called it squeaky instead of bitch, but bitch sounds funnier. And then I couldn't think of a better part title for this section. It's just shit like this. Rise with you, skilled at thing. Rise the passage, I've been through it. Might have abused that shit. I'm into it. Yeah, that awesome fucking section, which we'll get to, is titled shit like this. Bald Head Girl, duh. Come and go whenever to wherever you please, and then the one that begins when I believe it's Zach Hill sample saying hi, just screams his brains out, hi. That's Sick Like, and then Black Body for Black Body, then State of Drugs for the one where everyone thought MC Rider was a train for a little while there. So now that we got that out of the way, my whole life, fuck, I picked up F. Fuck. F is the end. That's skippable. Shit. Sorry. My Whole Life is great. I really enjoy My Whole Life. It is absolutely fucking awesome, and I love the outro especially. This goes sounds my compound. I'm a saboteur. Your times my smoke a lot. I stay at war. By nice I don't just jump settle up. Yeah, great. Fucking amazing outro. Love it to death. I don't know. It was definitely intentional, and I know it's intentional. It just kills me when I just hear the My Whole Life, My Whole Fucking Life part, and the instrumental in the background is just a little bit off off the beat a little bit, I feel. Am I stupid? Am I hearing that wrong? But, every time the My Whole Life, My Whole Fucking Life, every time that's repeated, I can only hear that. And I'm not like with Death Grips, I've said so many times, I just want to scream along to the lyrics. I can't with that because I feel like the beat's off. I bet it's not, though. I bet it's just me, but I feel like it is. Then, this is a bitch, I want to fuck a bitch, blah, 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 blah. Goes way too fucking fast, damn it. Yeah, honestly, I do actually feel like it's too fast because they never released lyrics from Steroids to my knowledge. this small section after My Whole Life. It's so fun. It is such a fun section. I don't know what the fuck he's saying though, man. Come on. Um, he just goes, as far as I can tell, he goes, this is a bitch, oh, well, not fucking bitch, a bitch, I want more. And then he just loses me for the rest of the song. And then the squeaky part starts, and it's fucking god tier immediately. But I sometimes just felt lost listening to that song a little bit. So I'll just put bitch and good. Shit like this, rise with you, skinned it thick. That's fucking great. That's a fucking song, dude. God damn. Love that. Well, technically, Steroids is one song, but whatever. I'm actually losing my voice. This is just the fucking tits, man. This is some good ass Death Grips. I almost want to put it in God tier. It's just if Death Grips is to be believed, it's a little too short. I think they could have made a full ass 3-4 minute song out of this, and it's just a little bit too short. And then the repetition of I'm into shit like this, rise with you, skid it, the rise passage up into it, might have abuse that shit. I think they repeated it maybe one time too many. And since it would be okay if the song was longer, but it's not, unfortunately. Baldhead Girl, sorry guys, gonna meh. Really don't dig this song. It slowed down Steroids to a crawl, in my view. This very just manic, awesome, fuck yes, awesome Death Grips album. Then the Baldhead Girl's here, and it's just very MC Ride sounds bored. The beat sounds bored. Like the reprise after a verse. I don't know if it's a reprise, but the instrumentation after a verse where it goes. I'm not explaining it very well, am I? I'm sorry. But the little instrumentation after the verses. The song sounds bored. Like it's this album where all the songs are very aggressive, hype, punchy, quick, whoa. And then Baldhead Girl's almost 4 minutes long. No reason for that, guys. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Really not enjoyable. Come and go whenever to wherever you please. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'll put that in great. Really enjoyable. Even though I can't understand most of what he's saying. Like, Death Grip's vocals have always been eaten up, but man, at least you could fall back to the lyrics and be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I was right about that. And then just, shit, dude, I wish I knew what he was saying, more of what he was saying. And, I can't front and act like I know everything he's saying in these songs. And it's such a letdown for me, really. But just, come and go whenever to wherever you please. The rest of it, whatever he's saying, I'm sure it's great. Then the lyrics and the verses are great as well. Instrumentation's awesome. Very fun and punchy Death Grip song. Again, a little bit too short. Why is Baldhead Girl a long song in here? It should have been Come and Go Whenever to Wherever You Please, or shit like this. Should have been the longest instead. Sick like... that shit's almost a skip for me. Just based on where it is in the album for me. I'll put it with Baldhead Girl because I feel like it's the same sort of deal where it feels sort of like it's meandering a little bit, even though it's so much shorter than Baldhead Girl. I wasn't a big fan of, in the verses where he, MC Ride is super, not, super relaxed and then very reverbed, and then it's the I thought that instrumentation was awful. Really, really awful. And it really just grated on me, really. And from what I can hear from the lyrics, it is decent. And I like the way MC Ride sits in those instrumentations, even though I don't like them. So I'll put it in meh instead. And of course, like I mentioned, it is a skip for me solely on where it is in the album. Although I wouldn't just skip it straight up if it was in a shuffle, for instance. Because it's between Come and Go Whenever to Wherever You Please and Black Body, which is another great song. I don't like the fact, I'll just get this out of the way, I don't like the fact that the hook is repeated verbatim with the same instrumentation. That is the one thing I don't like about about Black Body. But otherwise, I mean, the hook itself, the lyrically, is just fantastic. And I like the vocal performance as well. I say vocal performance I think in every song I mention that, I'm sorry. But yeah, I enjoyed it here. And then just the screaming black body, 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 black body, body at the end is just cool and led up to the Only God tier from Steroids, State of Drugs. Ooh, now this is just fucking. Ooh, man, this is like shit like this, just like times two in terms of both speed and just hype. Pure hype from this fucking song is just next level stuff going on here. Again, guys, I can't read too much into the lyrics. I'm being completely honest here, but from the from the live performances that Death Grips has done performing this song, and MC Ride keeps up with the sped up vocals live. I don't know how he did that. I'm not that much, never been that much. Something, something, something. Sorry. From what I can pick up, it's hard to retain, right? When you can't just look at a correct lyric sheet. You can go on Genius if you'd like, but a lot of those are clearly incorrect. If anyone's been around Red for a long time, piano movement. Let's just say that. He actually says "and I move with it" in the song. But yeah, that particular reprise, especially, guys, out of this world. But yeah, you can't just like look at the lyrics and just absorb it a few times, and then for the rest of the time you're good. You know, you can't do that with the Steroid songs. It really sucks. And but the last minute of the song is so good though. And you know, it's where he goes. I believe these are the lyrics because he's obviously saying something behind this extreme distortion. I believe he says all these things I don't want to regret. Is I believe what he says, but he says it very very slowly, and then the instrumentation explodes, and then it's the final verse, which I think is just awesome. And then the final verse, the final line of the verse is, "Get the fuck off me while I do my work." And I think that sums up the Death Grips fandom so well. Should be we're at what are we at? 1 hour 40 minutes. Sorry. Death Grips is online is up next. Year of the Snitch, baby. Now, this is the shit. Really. Oh, what did I just do? Oops. Where'd I put it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, okay. Death Grips is online. It's great. I like this song a lot. I want to put it in God's tier. There's this one section, guys. It might even be your favorite part of the song, and I just didn't dig it. The pretty nine pity motherfucker. It sticks out like a sore thumb in the song, man. I'll be honest. There's just the epic that part of the hook, and then then the verses themselves, the super the bassy, but then they got the little that little synth in the background for the verses is fantastic. And then I believe it's technically a reprise. The pretty nine pity motherfucker is technically a reprise. Don't like it, man. I don't like it one bit, and it is repeated verbatim, you know, with no beat switch ups later in the song. And then it just obviously goes into the outro, which is godlike. Everyone loves. I think everyone loves it. I believe it drops at 3 minutes exactly. When I'm sorry, dude. DJ. Oh man, he retweeted one of my tweets once. I feel awful. DJ Swamp. With DJ Swamp just goes absolutely ham on the outro. It just sounds great. Just the reprise, which I will stick to calling it a reprise, even if that's not correct. The reprise just sticks out like a sore thumb and brings the thing down to a great instead of God tier for me. Flies, easy great. And I did it again. Where'd I drop it? Shit, man. I suck at this. Okay, there we go. Flies lyrically, one of the best lyrically. It is, you know, the only fog I felt with features. Exception, complexion of silver drinkers. Oh my god, was that even right? I'm sorry if I got that wrong. It's been a little bit since I read the lyrics on that one. And then just the stripped back performance of MC Ride. You know how it goes from screaming, you know, Necro, Winnebago, where ship on shrooms, safe zones, and I'm loose, brown recluse, burn it out, rainbows, should the opportunity arise, vomit me, flies. And then there's a hook's just this catchy as shit thing, you know, it's catchy as fuck. And the verses themselves are extremely well performed by MC Ride. I mean, I think Year of this, everyone can agree. Most people can agree, I should say, that Year of the Snitch's MC Ride's best performance vocally was just great. And then the outro leads into Black Paint really well. But when you're listening to it, solely just, I want to listen to Flies right now. The outro doesn't work that well, and yeah, I feel like in a way it's similar to Houdini, where it just sort of is. Where Houdini is like, that's a good Death Grip song. Moving on. Flies is like, that's a great Death Grip song. Moving on. Kind of feeling from it. I'll move on to Black Paint here. Do I think Black Paint is good or great? Oh, that hurt. Shit. Fucking. Sorry, I put it in the wrong place. I'll put Black Paint in good. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to put it in good. The more I listened to that song, the more I found places I wasn't feeling it, and places where it lingered on a little bit too long, and just places where it felt like they were harboring back to some classic rock going on, and it didn't translate all that well. And I think some of the lyrics, the extreme echo or reverberation, whatever it technically is, with the first, like for example, the first drop, drop the curtain soaked in shadow, more shade, like the extreme reverberation kind of didn't work. It sort of muddied the vocals a little too much. And even the vocal performance, as with all songs in Near the Snitch, was great. It was so muddied by that reverberation. It really brought it down. And then there was a little bit of meandering where MC Ride is just screaming, "Hey, hey, hey," and then it leads into, "I don't have enough power." I feel like they could have just had a little beat switch up straight into that instead, and just cut out the middleman there, make the song a little bit more concise. Still, though, I mean, Black Paint's great. I mean, even though I put it in good, Black Paint on paper is great, and then their execution, I think, was just good, in my opinion. You guys are gonna fucking hate me. Linda's in Custody, I think, is great. It's one of those Death Grip songs where I was just like, I have to know the lyrics to this song. This is just very interesting to me. People think it's overly creepy to the point where it's kind of cringy how creepy they were, quote unquote, trying too hard to be. But I feel like it just worked wonders. I think the song is just so weird and creepy. I said it again. Weird, creepy, interesting, disgusting with the lyrics. Like cobwebs turn your insides pale, ew. But also, wow, that's a really interesting way to put that. Put that action, I'll say. And I really like the instrumentation. Man, what's the specific line? Most of it's just not like. Most of it's just not. Oh my god, I know all the words. I know all the words to this song. It's like how you can say the lyrics to a song if you start it at the start more easily. That's what Linda's in Custody's doing for me right now. It's a significant piece of me spill, a little Pinot pouring out my gill. Whatever. During the hook, fuck it. I wanted to say, oh, there we go, got it. Word nil, you know the drill. When that's very reverberated and you got the instrumentation in the background going, I think that works really well. And I think that part just ascends it. And then I didn't love how long the outro was. I think it was like 30 seconds too long. And when MC Ride is very far in the background, and when it becomes very, very muted, and then it is just the scribbling of these essentially screeches from MC Ride, just being record scratched essentially over and over again. At first, I didn't like that, and then I just started listening to the song more. I liked it more and more. I will still say the outro is a little bit too long. And we can all admit that they're driving home the creepy angle a little bit too hard there, but it still worked well because just as a maybe, yeah, in the album, I think it lacks a little bit, but as a single piece, just this creepy thing, the whole song works great. But obviously, in its context of the album, maybe a little bit too much of a detour after Black Paint. And then going into the horn section. Ooh, the horn section is a great drum solo from Zach Hill. Really enjoy it if it's just, going through, It's fun. It's a fun song. Just feel like it doesn't need to be there though. Sadly, I think we gotta get going here. I'm running out of time. Almost a hour and 15 minutes. 50 minutes. Ha ha ha. Great. I think this song is just so gross, funny, interesting, confusing, so many things at once, and it succeeds completely. I think. Um, Actually, let me think here. I think it succeeds so well in those aspects. I think it's God tier, guys. I really love Ha Ha Ha. I think it's so special and unique and just funny, weird. Yeah, I've said it all a second ago for you guys, but it's hard. You cannot, like, you can maybe put a lot of these Death Grip songs in a box. Cannot do that with Ha Ha Ha. What is it? You can't pin it down. You can't pin down exactly what Ha 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 is. Is it catchy? Is it just so off kilter you can't vibe with it? It's sort of in between, to the point where you just have to sit back and let Ha 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 be what it is. And you just have to just try and enjoy it, because it is enjoyable to listen to. The hook is extremely fun, ha ha ha, bitch, ha ha ha, bitch. That's another one. That's another window roller down for that. And then just the verses, it feels so weird with the guitar. I don't know. It's probably not technically a riff or a lick. It's the doom doom doom. It's so intriguing, and it works with the lyrics in a way that's hard to pin down, because the lyrics are so scatterbrained, but they're also very harsh and explicit. It's a intoxicating combination, and I think I'll be here all day trying to explain a fucking song that you've already heard like 100 times probably. But yeah, really like it. Sadly, guys, shit show. Sorry. Goodbye, shit show. I gotta put you in skippable. I know it's living up to its namesake in the way that a lot of people feel trash does. But shit show for me is too much of a shit show. I don't enjoy listening to the song. Sorry. I'm really sorry. I wished I liked it more. I know my friend Helltech, again from a Discord server, I know he really enjoys this song. I can't get into it, man. And I think after the godlike outro that is from Ha Ha Ha, shit show just doesn't got it for me. I really didn't like the sped up vocals. I don't even know the lyrics to this song, guys. I'm sorry. I really didn't dig this song. But yeah, the lyrics and the vocal performance being sped up like it is and being off the beat essentially. I believe it is technically on the beat, but it's meant to sound like it's off, like how Full Moon's drum pattern works, or drum timing, I guess. Whatever. I mean, I probably pissed you guys off by putting that skippable, so I'll move on. Move on to Streaky, which I think is good. It's when it first came out, I was really enjoying what I was hearing, and then the rest of Year of the Snitch came out. Blew my mind completely with just the amount of confusing sounds and intrigue. So Streaky kind of sticks out as being this little boppy tune. But it is a lot of fun, but it just doesn't stick out that much. Despite it being obviously very infectious, Streaky on the outside, south side, do me because the south side, Streaky on the outside. Oh my god! That's the first time I've yud in this video. Sorry. It just doesn't blow me away, but it is good. If it's coming on, I'm listening to it every time. I'm bumping it in the whip every time it comes on. Dilemma of where to put Dilemma, bro. That's wacky. Dilemma. Yeah, Dilemma's got tier for me. I love the vocal performances during the verses, especially. Fuck it, throughout the whole song. It's just that. Applause to Death Grips. Literally the only problem I have. Sorry, I'm going to say this, guys. Didn't like Mr. Shrek Director. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name right now. Didn't really like that intro, because every time this song comes on now, I'm just like, my music stop? What's going on here? So that can be a little annoying at times. But I mean, other than that, this song is just stellar in terms of the double gut judge joke on his gavel. Fucking brilliant shit. Just love the lyrics. Thingity so jinx now. And of course, just she's whoa, bam, 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 bam. But it's the way they put that together, man. Like in Ha Ha Ha, during the verses, how I mentioned the guitar work works very well with the lyricism and vocal performance. It's the same deal here in Dilemma. I feel like they just put that together so exquisitely well, and I think most people, honestly, it's one of those ones that Death Grips fans and non-Death Grips fans can just be overjoyed with. It's a very fun song and very interesting to listen to. Little Richard, not so much. Little Richard's. Little Richard's probably meh, just because I don't find the lyrics very interesting. It's one of those ones that's so abstract that it's not. You know what I mean? Like you almost have to take them at face value because it almost sounds like there's being gibberish spoken with some of these lyrics here. Really was not digging the lyrics. Didn't like the vocal performance. I mean, even with the robotic voice on something like Why a Bitch Gotta Lie, there was some clear feeling behind those vocals, despite the fact that it's supposed to sound like a robot. I think that was the idea, right? But here it's just in the horn section, just not too special or interesting. So lyrics, vocal performance, meh. Well, almost to skippable levels. Instrumentation is fun and interesting, I think. So that's what saves it for me, just being able to bop with the instrumental, particularly towards the end. You know, the I think that's pretty fun. Pretty fun synth sounds and so on. Doesn't need to be there though, you know. And it's just on an album. That is the one issue I have with Year of the Snitch. It would be my favorite, but on a 37-minute album, there are full songs that don't need to be there. That is the one issue I have with that album. I feel like Little Richard is just one of those. The Fear, though, should be here. Yep. No, you're going straight to God tier. I don't give a fuck. If you guys don't like The Fear, fuck you. Fucking, goddamn, I'm swearing so much now. I'm sorry. 4chaners, bro. They said most overrated song so far. This is the day the album leaked. They were saying The Fear is probably the most overrated song. Don't see why. I think The Fear is absolutely fantastic. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. Bet I'll be there before you leave. Time you get here, I'll be there like peace of mind's aboard of me. The Fear. The way they work in the jazz influence on the hook, just unbelievable. And just again, the way they worked it in. The I feel so sick today. Bow. I'm afraid to be here with you. Like the hook works like Jesus. How did they make the hook that good? And then the verses themselves are a lot of fun too. Like I mentioned, the Bolt Till You Reach the Crystal Fields of Ketamine, that more speedy verse was a lot of fun. And then the regular verses themselves are good too. You know, it's just a very dark and depressing song, but it's so catchy. And of course, that's what Death Grips is so good at being very, very dark and depressing, but then also being catchy at the same time. I think that's something Death Grips does that everyone really enjoys about them. So The Fear, yeah, no fear about putting that in God's tier. Love that song. That's great stuff. Outro, fuck you. Fuck outro. I don't know why this is here. I know it's a whole lot of theories about what it means by outro moving into a song called Disappointed. That's created a lot of debate, a lot of intrigue. Outro itself sucks though. Very, very boring. Sorry. Remember I made a little review of Year of the Snitch that I've since deleted just because I'm a little embarrassed by it, to be honest. I essentially danced to every Year of the Snitch song and had a little dude holding up the score of each individual song. And then for outro, I was just walking around with like a bored look on my face, and that's the way I feel about outro. Like, just maybe in Death Grips' mind, for sure, it should be there, obviously, because they put it there. But for me, as the listener, wasn't big on it. Sorry. Disappointed though, I think is great. Not quite God tier, and I'll get to that in a minute. But Disappointed is great. Just the verses, the way the verse works is so cool and like different. We've heard things like this before, but he's repeating the same word quietly and then loudly, and it just kind of works. Yeah, like right, clot, clutch, corpse, clot, warn, husk, scorn, husk. I don't even remember the words to that one, but yeah, he just has like a lower aggression one, a very low aggression one, and the high aggression of each individual word, and it just comes together very, very well. And then, of course, the legendary, the legendary "Why Me" screams on this song are just completely brutal and just ooh, ooh, it sounds like they hurt. To be honest, a lot of people like the Kevlar coated Moonlight, Carry On, Never Been Far Enough. People like the Why Me Scream after that one. I actually like the first one where it really dropped. Like it just dropped it on you with the guitar riff in the background. I like that one more. I don't even know why I brought that up. I'm sorry. That's just something that I've always thought about it. And why is it in Great and not God tier? Huh. Good question, person who didn't ask that. I don't know. There's just always been something about Disappointed that just leaves it a little lacking. Maybe it is just the lyrics. I like the lyrics. What is it? Fuck jobs, no job. Fuck jobs not hired. Shit. I listened to that song so much that I forgot. I'm sorry. Low lands, road rash. Shit. Yeah, sorry guys. I've been recording for 2 hours now. Okay, cut me a break. I don't remember all the lyrics to Disappointed. But yeah, just I think the lyrics were sometimes lacking, and when you have such a strange structure, which essentially amounts to almost padding in the way that the vocal performance works, where you essentially have to do half the words to get the full duration. I feel like they could have been a little bit tighter. I think the lyric could have been. It almost feels like a sort of manifesto in a way. Disappointed does, which which does not excite many people. They didn't want Death Grips to be over, but it almost does feel like a bit of a manifesto, but almost like they're underselling themselves with certain descriptors and so on. So let's move on to some random songs here outside of the albums. So let's take a peek. Live from Death Valley is technically an album, so let's do this. Pose Killer, star. That's fun. I think Pose Killer's fun, but they're clearly unmastered, so I can see why they were cut from whatever album they were supposed to be cut from. Not exceedingly good lyrically, but vocal performance is obviously on point. The instrumental's interesting, so yeah, pretty good. And then Fired Up, less so. I think Fired Up's just meh. It's just okay. Then we're moving on to Google Black here. Fun little song, but just meh. Not skippable, but it's just a fun little doodle, basically, is what I'm at that too. And then Codename Dancer, which I believe is just Andy Morin. I think that's good, I'll be real. I'm putting it up with the rest of these bitches. I don't care. I think Codename Dancer is a very fun little instrumental. And then this will congeal Darko Drum 12 and the other one, which was like the Fashion Week leaks, essentially, that they leaked themselves. Wow, that was a bad voice crack. I really should be done soon. Yeah, very meh. Like a lot of Fashion Week, I just felt like it's okay. Not a terrible listen, though. So this one is... I'll do the Bjork songs together. This one is Sacrifice, right? I just get confused with the thumbnails there. Sacrifice is good. And then, not a whole lot to talk about. It's just a good remix of that Bjork song in particular. And then Thunderbolt, I think, is meh. I think the general sounds that they chose to mix with the Bjork, the pre-existing Bjork song there was just okay. Let's peep... Let's keep you guys guessing with what I'm going to do next. And just peep Gmail and their restraining orders. Sorry, skip. I know a lot of people dig this, maybe for more into noise music, or just super into Death Grips. Not even to the background. I like this one. Just keeping it honest here, guys. Really didn't dig Gmail and their restraining orders. I know why it was created. It was the sort of thing to play in the background while we're waiting for Death Grips to come out. Just have a little fun little thing going on in the background, and it served that well. Got people interested in it, and I'm glad that they released it to the public as they did. Similar to the little drum solo, which I also think is skippable, unfortunately. Very good drum solo from Mr. Zach Hill. Just wasn't very interesting, and if he wants to jam for almost, I think it's about 11 minutes. That's all him. I just think the final product was Very repetitive and uninteresting. Let's peep the Hothead single version. Boom, going straight up to great. I love the single version of Hothead. I think is a lot more raw, a lot more aggressive sounding. I know the total amount of sounds is lesser. Absolutely, I understand that. But I think it's a greater experience as a whole, despite the fact that it's technically missing things from the album version. I think that just adds so much to it. And I think in yeah, I think they were right in making the album version the way that it is, but to fit in Bottomless Pit more. But I prefer the single version. You know what I mean? Let's do No Hands. The little, I believe, is the little drum solo. I thought it was just meh. I believe it's the drum solo, right? Yeah, it's just a little photo track. I should have given it another listen before this. Sorry, guys. I think I did, and then I've forgotten. I've been going for 2 hours and 5 minutes. Okay, please. And let's peep the Prodigy remix. Firestarter is meh. I thought it was fun for the first few minutes, and then it just kept going. But I believe the lead performer for Prodigy passed away, so rest in peace to him, of course. And we're going to move on here to True Vulture, my man. True Vulture is good. I have a fun time every time I listen to it. And I keep on thinking MC Ride is saying waffles will never know instead of wifles will never know. So that's good. That's a positive of the song. It just doesn't quite blow me away, and the hook is a little bit repetitive for me. But of course, True Vulture, my man. Every time someone says my man, I'm just like, True Vulture, my man, and then everyone just looks at me. So that's unfortunate. It's a good and a bad thing, because that means it's catchy, but it also means I get weird looks in public. So let's move on to Fuck a Bitch. Fuck a Bitch, what? Fuck a Bitch. You heard what I said. Pretty ridiculous song. I might even put it in meh, if I'm being frank, guys. Fuck a Bitch is such a ridiculous, stupid song, but it is fun for me. It's like a, even though it's not looked down upon, it is a guilty pleasure Death Grip song for me. Just because the lyrics aren't anything special, and they're kind of derogatory, if I'm being honest. Being honest about it here. And it's just, it isn't all that catchy. You know, the fuck a bitch, what? Fuck a bitch. You hear what I said? And really need a lyric sheet for that one, Chief. I'll be real. Even though it's a very fun song, I think it's lacking a little bit. Yeah, the instrumentation's cool too. What to do second to last, which will in turn choose what we do last. At Death Grips with the Z at the end, I think is good. And I believe it's a That's So Raven sample. Love that. I watched that show all the time when I was a kid. So, you know, that was a lot of fun hearing that in a Death Grip song. And I do think it's a little too long. Obviously, that is a common issue I personally find in Death Grips, is that some of the songs, well, a good amount of songs, simply suffer from being too long. And then it goes on too long without too many beat change-ups or changes to pre-existing sounds to cover a similar section, like, say, a hook. Yeah, fun song. Now let's move on to the last one, More Than the Fairy. So this was the song released shortly after Bottomless Pit with Les Claypool on the bass. Let's peep this one, the final one. I'll tell you guys now, it's between great and good. It's so fucking close, dude. Like, I like these songs a lot. This song a lot. Man, just, you know, I'll put it in great because it sounds crazy at the riverbank. Ain't thought about shit for a minute, man. Sorry, I thought I'd give you guys one more of those. I hope you found those funny, because, like, if you didn't, I'm so fucked for this video. Yeah, More Than the Fairy is just a complete, like, lyrically not their greatest work. If the lyrics were just, like, their tightest lyrics in the world, easy God tier, right? I really love the instrumentation, love the vocal performance, the splicing in of the bass of Les Claypool in here is just, it works great. Works great. Just the vocal performance does get a little muddied, and that's always an issue for me. I will put this as an issue with Steroids as well. It is an issue when the vocals are so muddied and they don't give us a lyric sheet, right? But yeah, that pretty much that does it for this tier list. Let's grab a holy shit. Let's grab a screenshot. I think that just about sums it up, guys. So if you enjoyed, please leave a like. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys next time.